Okay, so I am the 24. That is Unbreakable Pixel. And we're going to talk about some games. We're going to talk about some games. We're going to talk about some pop culture. We're going to talk about some fun stuff tonight. It's going to be a good time. Something new and different for sure. Chat's looking good on my side. I think it's
yeah, everything looks like it's working.
Okay, cool.
Yep, this is all new territory.
Yeah,
all
right.
New territory.
No kidding.
So those of you in chat, if you notice anything strange happening on either of our streams, be sure to let us know.
Yeah,
we appreciate the input.
Definitely. Try to figure out.
Hey, Just a Game Nerd.
There we go.
Welcome.
So yeah, if you know, so each of our streams, so myself and Unbreakable Pixel, we set it up to where you'll see our cams, you'll get our mics, and then you'll also see our chat. So when we're answering one person's chat, either way, you should be able to see it. So,
yep. And as you can see, we both have slightly different themes on ours.
Sure.
But we did organize it. We did organize it the same way, so that way you can actually see chat, logo, and our camera all in the same corner.
Yeah, try to give a little bit of organization to the madness, you know.
Yep.
Just a little bit.
No, thanks, Just a Game Nerd.
Right. This is good. So, so with our first one, we're gonna be very. We're kind of getting a feel for how we're doing, how we're flowing. So, once we get into things, I think the more interaction we have, the more chat we have. If we're talking about something and you agree, disagree, love it, hate it, let us know. Tell us. That's going to spur a lot of the conversation, I think.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you. All right. Yeah.
So
this is
it's different.
It's like I've been stringing for a year, and it's like I actually feel like nervous.
This is good.
I gotta say to everybody, I feel nervous, but
great.
Nervous like with excitement.
This is great.
This new chapter.
Yeah. This is great. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really good.
Oh,
well, okay, we'll get right into it. So, like I said, I'm the 24. My name is Rich. George, Breakable Pixel.
Yep.
So first thing we want to talk about is a little bit of our backgrounds, a little bit of what where we started gaming, where we came from. And so yeah, for sure, we definitely want to share a little bit about ourselves, a little bit about our background, and then maybe give you a picture of where some of these thoughts and impressions came from, and then go from there and see what's going on. So, like, for instance, myself, my first gaming system was a Nintendo original NES. The first game I played was Mario. It was a Mario Duck Hunt combo, I think, and I preferred Duck Hunt over Mario because Mario was a little tougher for me at that age. But it was a family thing, I remember it was actually my mom that got like past the second world in Mario, and she came running. I was already in bed. She came running and talking about, I beat level 2. I'm going to level 3, and and it was like such a big deal. It was such a big thing. And that's when it started for me. Like, what was your first console?
That's kind of like a gray line, because the first console in our house, we had an Atari 2600 that my parents had.
Nice.
So that was probably my first experience with playing games. I could not tell you which game on that, but my first console was actually the NES as well.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And I would say, because I was a little later to the NES game, so my first game was actually Mario 2.
Oh, nice.
Like, obviously they come packed with Super Mario Brothers, but
sure.
Mario 2 was my go-to for my first game.
Wow, that's awesome. That's interesting. I don't hear that a lot. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And that probably explains my fondness for that game too.
Sure.
Because I know it is an outlier as far as the Mario style.
Yeah. Very different.
They did things with that game that I don't think they've really ever retouched.
Right. It was Doki Doki Panic, right? Wasn't that
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, the reskin. Yeah.
Total reskin of a game that Japan thought, nah, this isn't going to do on America. Let's sell it as Mario, right? So
yep.
Anything with Mario sold well, right?
Right. On top of that, you figure we got that as Mario 2 because their Mario 2 they thought was going to be too hard for America.
Sure. Right.
with lost
Yeah,
levels.
that's true. That is true. And they might not have been wrong, because playing lost levels was
That's a hard
horrible.
game.
Yeah, it was really tough. Like it was really tough.
Oh yeah, that is definitely a hard game.
I was not an Atari kid. We didn't have an Atari. My uncle had an Atari, and when I go visit, like he lived near my grandparents. When I go visit them in the summers, I'd sometimes some of this Atari, but coming from Nintendo, it was like, I'm good. Like,
Right. It was definitely a step backwards.
yeah. I was like, no love for the Atari. I think I had one at one point, and I ended up selling it or trading it off, just because I mean, it looked cool in the box and it was like nostalgic, I guess, but it was, never really was my thing. It just, I could see the love for it, like if it was your first like home, gaming, so amazing. It's probably the same feelings we have like for the NES, but.
Exactly. But then the generation who were Super Nintendo, they look at our NES and say, "Oh, that's so old looking."
Right. Yeah, no
so
kidding.
outdated.
No kidding. Yeah, people that are getting into gaming, since think about like the GameCube era, and then looking at original NES, it's like, oh, really? Like, wow.
Yeah,
That's rough.
absolutely just a game nerd. Yeah, when it was all that there was, you had to love it.
Yeah, that was great. The original NES for me, it is. So there was a time even after Super Nintendo came out when I didn't have a Super Nintendo yet. I still love my NES. I still love the games. Hogan's Alley on the NES. Like, I loved the I would get behind my bed and like take cover and like pop up and like seriously, it was crazy. Like I loved the games. I love it. And then Duck Hunt and the dog, trying to shoot the dog, just all the, and then as I got older, getting into more games like Contra. Zelda was one my mom was really into. She played a lot of Zelda, and then I played a lot of Zelda. But more difficult games like Contra and stuff like that, as I got friends to play with, that was always cool. That was always fun.
Oh yeah, those co-op games from back in the NES era, they were fun, but boy were they brutal for playing two-player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you did not keep up with one another, man, that difficulty.
Right. It was crazy. Even Konami code. Was it 30 lives or 20 lives? 20 lives, right?
Yeah, 30.
30 lives. It wasn't enough. It was not enough. Like, it was tough, man. That was a tough setup. But
you definitely fared better solo.
Yeah,
on Contra,
for
than
sure.
you did with two people.
Yeah, for sure. Because you'd be right there at the edge of the screen trying to get away from that bullet, and then your teammate stops you, and you're like, oh.
Yep.
Oh no! Come on, man!
Or the vertical stages where you're climbing upwards, and they leave you behind.
Yep, and you just fall and die. Yep. Come on, man! That's awful.
Oh man!
But yeah, so originally, yeah. So I'm as you can tell, like I'm a big game collector. I've collected since then. I don't have a ton of stuff. I have some things from when I was a kid, but not a ton of stuff. But definitely NES is like the thing I try to collect. It's like the one system I'd love to complete. Like get a full library. Which some of those games are a little pricey. I don't know if we'll ever see a complete set from it. But I would really love to see to get it pretty as close as I can. I a lot of the things like that, and especially now with kids, it's like it's nice to it's really nice to go sit them down and play the games with them, and they have a little bit of that same thing. They played they play Switch all the time, and then showing them some of that is kind of like it's tough at first. But we've done it. We've played through Mario Brothers. We've done a good time. So
yeah, you kind of got to teach them. It's like where it all began.
Right.
So like, I mean, that was Mario's beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there were the bumpy spot in the middle of Mario's timeline, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah. It wasn't always good. It wasn't always positives, for sure.
There were definitely ups and downs.
100%. So I know you stream a lot of retro. So do you prefer streaming the retro, or do you prefer streaming the more modern titles?
I gotta say, it is definitely a kind of how the mood catches me.
Right.
Because to play retro, like I'm in the zone, nostalgia, like just loving, even if it's a game I haven't played, but it's retro,
Right.
just loving the sight and sounds.
Right.
Because just that genre era of console.
Sure.
Is just so wonderful.
Oh yeah.
I mean, some of the best soundtracks, and then they're like earworms too. They get in your head.
Right.
And to this day, I could still hear the melodies to some of these songs.
Right. That's awesome. No, that's good.
So I would say, yeah, I probably lean more towards retro. But
sure.
I definitely still game and stream all the way up through modern too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've seen. You're one of the better retro game players I've seen for sure. Like there's a talent to, even if it's just pattern memorization, and dude, that's it's impressive to watch. It's a good time. So you're definitely pretty good at it. And I like seeing you get frustrated too after being so good at some of these games. So
I was just to say, then you get to see me crack sometimes.
Yeah, right. So that's good too. It's nice to see little chinks in the armor here and there. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, there are definitely chinks in the armor.
That's good. But yeah, I have not. I've streamed a little bit of retro. We've done some. I have never hooked up a console and streamed from the console. So, and you stream from all the original consoles, right?
For the most part, pretty much if it's cartridge based, I stream from the console.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
I don't have all the disc based systems covered.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he would be calmer than me. We there'll be a whole topic one of these weeks on Game Genie and why it's a necessary thing to have.
Yeah. Well, then you figure even modern now, you got save states.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah. If you can save and try it out like so much, it's great. Oh, we're competitive. Mario 64 is great. Hey, we're not there yet, but I'm gonna tell you right now, we're gonna have some discussion. Game Genie is not cheating. Game Genie is modifying the game.
Well, it even says right on it. It is a game enhancer.
Right.
That's what it says right on the box.
Yeah, it's not cheating. It just changes the parameters of the game. That's all.
Yes.
Just change it up a little bit. It's like if the rules are different, is it really cheating? Mario 64 is we're gonna get into that. Okay, so what? Yeah. Okay, so the hardest question that I'm always asked, what's your favorite game of all time?
Favorite game of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah, see that
right?
All time.
Right?
That is hard.
That is so difficult.
It'd even be just
what's up? How's it going?
It would even be just difficult doing like per system per console.
Right. And so then
all time.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's tough, huh? Thanks for those bits, Bagum. I appreciate that. I actually had C-Fish hit me. I had C-Fish hit me with that question, and I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like that's tough. Mm-hmm. Like I can think of, so Bagum, we're talking about favorite game of all time. If you had to pick one, I think it's an impossible question to truly answer. I can think back of different eras.
Pole position.
Yeah, right.
I said just the game, pole position.
Yeah, pole position. Like it's a game that you can turn on, and just play through and it's like I try to think back to as a kid. Yeah, Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Perfect Dark. Yeah.
I would have to say, for me, it probably have to be something NES, because you figure your memories and nostalgia are so rooted in that being your first console.
Right.
You're biased for it.
Sure.
And automatically, it gets extra favor.
I agree. Like what game could you just put in and play? And I think I ended up saying Persona 5, Super Mario Bros. 3. That's pretty close to the top of my list for sure there, Dylan. Because it's a game I could just throw in and play whenever.
And Mario 3, I still can't get my Deathless Run yet.
Deathless Run, I can't imagine. Oh, I can't imagine. But breaking it down by console, I think is a little easier, but even that's tough because there's like Bagum said, genres would probably be good. Like I could maybe call my favorite like platformer, favorite RPG, but Yeah, that's a tough question. Every time I hear it, I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I don't know. I can't even think of like my favorite game that I own, you know, because I stream more modern games, right? I play more modern games. I enjoy the complexities that's built into them now, and so you have these
Mhm.
multifaceted games. Used to be it's either an RPG. Hey, my man Ethan, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thanks for the bits, man.
Mhm.
You either you had an RPG or you had an adventure game or you had a puzzle game or you had a, you know, and now they take them all, you know, they take aspects from all
Right.
of them, and that's what I love about. And then being able to play with friends, of course, that's amazing. And to cross platform, I like it's a good age to be a gamer, I think, you know. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I
back then I couldn't imagine playing a co-op game with somebody who wasn't sitting on the couch next to me.
right, it's
Like,
crazy.
or having to share the same screen.
Sure, yeah. Oh man, you know, remember the you know, your buddy had the 25 inch. You're like, wow, it's a nice TV. And then you play split
Oh,
screen.
yeah.
You're like, oof, like, oof. Hey, it was rough. It was rough. Ethan, I do appreciate it. Thanks so much. So if you're just getting in, we're talking a little bit about just kind of our backgrounds in gaming, how we got interested, how we got sort of into the hobby, into the game, which led to us starting to stream and starting to play games and interact with you guys. And so
Yeah.
yeah, no, so far we both basically started in the NES era. I think Pixel and I are very similar in our gaming past, although he's a lot better at retro than I am. So
But
admittedly,
you have
for
a lot,
sure.
but you have a lot more retro than I have.
Oh, you're right. Hey, well, yeah. At least I got that going
Yeah.
for me. And
Yeah.
I can say so many people say, "Oh, you got all those games, but you never play them all." I have played every single game in my room. Maybe for only like a minute and a half, just to make sure it
Mhm.
works. But I have played every single game in my room, so I can say that. Um, Dylan, you are actually right. I think I think games very much so for where you are at your time of life, where you are, um, you know, with your friends, with your family, as a kid. 100% they actually hit you, you know what I'm saying. It's that's a very good point.
Yeah.
And something I think we'll end up talking about a little bit later. Spawns, uh Mario 64 changed gaming. Yeah, that's a shame you can't be here to argue it, because we're gonna get into that
Yeah.
in a little bit, and I got a lot of counterpoints. I got a lot of counterpoints for that.
Oh,
Oh
there's a question for you.
yeah.
Hyper Bemis.
Oh yes, absolutely. Hyper Venus. Those are all. That's my
We,
collection. Across the wall and
we were just
across the
talking
back
about it
wall.
earlier too.
Yeah, I hear.
Is that it looks like he's on a green screen.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it really does, but he has to prove it sometimes and
Right,
walk
right,
back there and
right,
pick a
right,
game out.
right. So we'll real quick. All right, we'll go. I'll go pull Sonic 3 off the shelf for Shane. So I do actually I do have a lot of people tell me that it looks like a green screen. I think it's just my lighting. Maybe I got lucky. I don't know. But it is real. Yes. I have I think I have like 2200 physical games right now.
Wow.
Something like that. Yeah, it's bad. I shouldn't have said that with the wife in chat probably, but that's okay. That's
That's
good.
amazing though.
That's
That is
good.
amazing.
Yeah,
Confirmed it's
absolutely.
real.
Yeah, competitive gamer. Yes. Yeah, Modern Warfare 2. Dude, God, I have friendships. In fact, a lot of people in chat from playing the Modern Warfare games, playing the Battlefield games. Uh, no, every time I try to buy an Atlas game from our local game store, you got it. So actually, no, I do have the wasn't Rockin' Cats? Isn't that an Atlas game on NES? I think I have
That's
Rockin'
Atlas.
Cats. Yeah, I have Rockin' Cats for sure. That might be the only one offhand I can think of. I
Just a game
think.
nerd. You probably have 100, but not on purpose.
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope. You just start buying and collecting,
Right. And I'll tell you
and
too.
then you get
So
2200.
right, all the games I have come from garage sales, thrift stores, Goodwills, flea markets. I'm lucky enough to have a I'm lucky enough to have a retro game store here locally too. And then when I travel for work, I always sneak, sort of hunt out the retro game stores and stuff. So, but I haven't bought anything off eBay. Haven't really bought anything. Yeah, we do. We stop on road trips. Like I'll map it out. If we're going a certain direction, I'll see. Oh, hey, here's a game store on the way. Maybe we'll stop there for gas. You never know. So plan it out. But it's getting tougher. It's getting tougher to do for sure. But man, I love it. I love going to a garage sale and seeing a table full of video games and being like, oh, so excited, so good, so good. Yeah, Call of Duty World at War. That was probably one of my favorite games. I really enjoyed World at War. That got me into Call of Duty. And there for a while, I played it every single year. I bought the new one every year. I stood in front of GameStop waiting for it to come out. Loved it. Yeah, Ethan, you're not wrong. Yeah, trying to get everything set up, it's a chore. It is a chore. Best find at a garage sale. What's that, Pixel?
Oh no, as I say, just a gamer. NCAA football game his son bought for the Xbox, and 3 months later he pulled the same game out of a box.
Oh wow, that's
funny. That he had already.
That's awesome. Yeah. I have to use apps to keep up with it. It's bad. Best find at a garage sale. Best find at a garage sale. I think we got. I found the Jurassic Park that's on the original Xbox, Operation Genesis. That's a pretty rare, uncommon title. I found that at a garage sale for I think it was $5. That was probably my best game that I found.
I'm probably sitting at, it was another NES game for me, but I found a Mega Man 1, which was nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, it wasn't anything crazy, but it's not as common. It's not like finding 2 or 3.
It's
yeah, the first, was it the first, 5th, and the 6th?
Yeah, wow.
The rarer ones.
Yeah. That's awesome. I did. Yeah. So then my best deal that I've ever gotten. We were at a town over from us, and they had a thrift store, and inside there was a full on. I don't know. You probably can't see it. A set. You might be able to see it up there. It's up there by the Xbox. Nintendo Deluxe set with Rob the Robot. 100% complete, everything included. It's just pristine, and they wanted $150 for it. And I was like, at that point, I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, I think they go for about $400 or $500. I'm like, yeah, sure. So I take it up to the front, and they asked me. They said, "Are you military?" And I said, "I am a veteran. I was in the Air Force for 6 years." And I said, "Oh, well, I'm a veteran. Does that count?" And they were like, yeah, that counts. Sure, it's 50% off for veterans today. So I walked out with it for $75. It was, oh man, it was awesome. And I like the buddies effect, over competitive gamer, Rad Junk, a lot of us local buddies that collect. I snapped a picture of the receipt because I'm like, they're never gonna believe me, like not in a million years, So it's like I gotta text them this receipt, man. I gotta show them. Yeah, box Little Sam's is on my list. I think to have the licensed NES set, I need about 100 games, about 100 off, and they're getting kind of expensive. Yeah, 100%. If I find old cartridge games for $1, I buy them. Like, I don't care what they are. It's an awesome deal. It's good.
Oh yeah. So, what were your most recent pickups that you've grabbed?
Let's see. Actually, funny, today, the missus was at a, hey, Skeptic, how's it going? The missus was at a thrift store today. Actually, I think it was a Goodwill, and found Resident Evil Outbreak on PlayStation 2 for $4. I was like, well, there you go. That's nice. Yeah, the disc was in great shape. It was really cool. Pretty solid. So,
yeah, so, I've hit a dry spell around town here anyway.
Sure.
With all what's been going on this past year,
right?
Made garage sailing and all that stuff almost non-existent.
Yeah. It's definitely been tough to find stuff out in the wild. I think everybody's been picking it up.
Hey, Skeptic.
Okay, so yeah, since favorite game is hard. So what's your favorite style of game to play?
s- style of game. I'm diehard platformer.
Yeah, platformer.
Yeah,
That's
platformer.
awesome. That's excellent. That's
Platformer.
excellent.
Yep. How about you?
Ooh, I do like platformer games. Yeah, I would agree on that because I like shoot 'em ups. I love like whenever I go in arcades, I love shoot 'em ups. Shoot 'em ups are good. Yeah, and beat 'em ups are great too, Bagoon, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Shoot 'em ups, shoot 'em ups. I'd say shmups probably. Um,
Really? So
yeah,
like Galaga style,
yeah,
great
and even
Gradius.
like the 1942s, 1943s.
Mhm,
Beat 'em ups are good too. I feel
mhm,
like beat 'em ups. The replayability on beat 'em ups, you can always walk up to one, just like throw a quarter in, go nuts, right?
mhm.
Like so that they're pretty good too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, platformers are right up there too. But I'd say shmups for sure.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No, I mean, platformer is definitely for home. But I mean,
Yeah.
if we were talking,
Yeah.
we were talking arcade. Arcade has to be beat 'em ups
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
beat 'em up slash fighting games.
Sure. Yeah. I love Street Fighter. Yeah. We're getting into it, Bagoon. And I don't think you're gonna like where I'm at with it. Just saying. So if I could be buried with one game, uh oh my gosh. One game. I think that's probably Super Mario Bros. 3. That's
Ah,
probably the game
yep.
I got the most work into, the most. Oh, that was Lucky and Wild, Mrs. 24. And that was a cool arcade game. That was cool. Driving and shooting at the same time.
Hmm,
Um, that
that's
was
cool.
pretty. Yeah, one person drove, one person shot. It was really cool.
That's a cool combo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cobra Triangle Cabinet was pretty good. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I loved. I tell you, that's another NES game I really liked. Like throwing it in and just playing it anytime. Tiger Heli. I love Tiger Heli
Mhm.
on
Tiger Heli
NES.
was good.
So good, and the soundtrack was great. The music in it was great. It was awesome. It was really good. It was really good.
Well,
Yeah,
since you said Mario 3 for that,
yeah.
I can't copy your answer. Um,
Uh,
I would say my secondary to that, as far as my favorite one that I can always pick up and play, is the NES DuckTales.
oh yeah. Oh, I love that
I
game too.
I can I can listen to that soundtrack,
Yeah. Yep.
especially the moon stage,
Oh yeah.
on
Yeah.
repeat. Like Capcom killed it with that
Yeah.
game.
100%. Um,
Yeah.
I did. I enjoyed. I enjoyed playing that game too. And Ducktales 2 is a good one too. I just I've never found it yet. Haven't found it in a while. So.
I ended up with a Famicom cart of it,
Oh, very cool. Excellent.
because the Famicom cart, I mean, years back when I originally got it, the NES one was like 140 if I wanted to like order it online,
Right.
but I was able to find a Famicom cart on eBay, $30.
Nice.
So
Yeah, that's
granted,
excellent.
you can't read the text, but
Right. Yeah, Ducktales
yeah.
was it was a tough one. It was fun though. It was very fluid platformer. And
Mhm.
it's funny, like a lot of the fans of Sega, like you were playing Rocket Knight the other day, the speed
Right.
of Sega versus the speed of Nintendo. Nintendo was definitely more my speed, like I
Mhm.
liked that slower platformer. And then playing Sonic, that was always fun, zoom, you're gone, it was pretty
Mhm.
excellent. um so in with collecting, with finding stuff in the wild is getting more difficult. Finding stuff at garage sales, flea markets, people are starting to price things higher, overprice things in a lot of cases. Graded games has become a big thing. Like graded games has turned into this craziness. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, $600,000 for a sealed, graded Super Mario Brothers, original Super Mario Brothers. Completely
Yeah.
insane. Yeah, you can send them off, have them graded. They'll case them up just like sports cards, Um,
Sealed, and means you can't even play your investment if you wanted
right,
to.
right. They send it back, and now you have
Ooh.
this brick, and it's like it's
Yeah.
nothing. It's crazy. It, I I feel like over competitive gamer, 100%. I agree. Nintendo's level design was superior. I feel like Sega, they didn't take advantage as much. I prefer the Nintendo to it. Um,
Mhm.
NES Super Dodgeball was a fun game. That was a cool one to pick up. And honestly,
Oh yeah.
like even just picking up some of the easy games like the World Cup on NES was fun. Um, yeah, it had a good soundtrack too. It was good. But yeah, no, so I collected sports cards a lot as a kid. And I saw the sports card industry, which was inflated in the 80s, and anybody that collected sports cards in the 80s, so I'm sorry. I'm there with you. We all wasted our money. It's so sad, you know. Um,
Mhm.
but then sports cards kind of went from like you'd find inserts, you'd find special cards, you know, that were rarer than the regular card, you know. And then that turned into they would serial number those special cards, right? And so now you had like a special card, you had a serial numbered card, right? Version of it. And then that was more valuable. And then now it's sort of gone into this grading thing. And actually the sports card industry had a huge fallout with their grading. Like the market, it was not fair. There's been lawsuits, there's been all kinds of stuff. And I wonder if the same thing's gonna happen to I wonder if the same thing's gonna happen to gaming. Um if this direction, this push of graded, it seems like every time I see someone find a decent sealed box, they're sending it off. They're sending it off to have graded, and it's just like it. That's not why I got into collecting, you know. Like I do have
Right.
somebody mentioned earlier about box. I do have some box. I do have some CIB stuff, but the game comes out
Mhm.
of the box and the box goes up on the shelf. But all my
Yeah.
games are out. I want to play them, you know, and like I don't like this thought of sealing them away forever. But
Yeah.
I mean, 600 grand would pay off my house. So on the other hand, you know, like, if you happen to find a good copy of it, let me know. I'll pick it up for me. You know, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Hyper Bemis for cards. I'm with you. I never really had sports cards. I did the comic book cards
yeah, yeah.
and did the always like you had like the movie cards too.
Oh yeah,
Like when a popular
yeah,
movie in the
yeah, yeah,
80s,
yeah. For
collector's
sure,
cards for
for
it.
sure. Yeah, that was a good. That was good. Yeah, no
Not, not
kidding.
not to mention my all-time favorite was Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Excellent, excellent.
Those were some cards. But yeah, I can't believe that though.
$600
$600.
grand for a Nintendo game that was
Yeah.
probably on clearance at Kmart. You know, when Kmart was pushing the for like $10. You know,
And
someone
and
grabbed
gran
it, threw it in a
and
box. You know,
and grandma bought it
yeah, right,
for the
right, right,
kid,
right,
never ended up opening it because he's like, "I already have this game," or "This is an old game," and it
right.
just got shoved away in the basement.
Yeah, yeah, like
Yeah,
whatever. And then
in the
someone
attic.
found it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Unreal. It's pretty nuts. Yeah, I
Yeah.
NBA Jam Tournament Edition, 100%. I love that game. It's probably my favorite basketball game. And there was a time frame too where I got really into
Oh,
sports games for sure. Um,
oh, Hyper Bemis. That's that was the sealed Super Mario Brothers,
yeah, and I
the original
think
Super Mario Brothers.
wasn't it a Goodwill auction too? I think it was. Maybe I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong on that, but I think I can't believe 600 grand. That's madness. Madness
Yeah,
to me.
I don't think it was a Goodwill auction. It
Okay.
was a
Okay. I would almost, if it was a Goodwill auction, I would almost say, well, maybe people were bidding it up because it was for a good cause. But
right,
like, you could almost say, well, you know, like, oh,
right,
okay,
exactly.
sure, why not? But I don't know, you know, and so like, so I feel like collecting in general too. Um,
It, yeah, it was just a standard heritage auction
oh, was it?
at
Was
heritage
it?
auctions.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine just because then the fees and stuff were even on top of that. It's crazy. It's completely insane.
Hmm.
I couldn't see it.
Yeah,
I think that I, I think what we're seeing is okay. People of our age, we've got careers, we've got income, we've got the opportunity to buy games, we got the opportunity to do this, and I think that affects the value too. You know, well now there's people getting into their 30s that grew up with, you know, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, right? They're getting into that age where, you know, do you see other consoles having the nostalgia and the resellability like Nintendo, like Genesis, like the original cartridge? Like, do you see that happening? I don't know.
Right. I mean, being that we're not of that generation, it's hard to really get that perspective. But I mean, it's definitely, you want to buy your childhood back,
Sure, sure.
and it's, I think it's the grasping onto the nostalgia and the memories that go with that generation for you.
Right, 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 right.
But I think that's where, with those consoles though, I think it's going to become harder as the later generations start to do that, because now they're buying optical discs,
Right.
which susceptible to disc rot,
Sure,
just just a lot more fragile than
sure.
cartridges. So I almost wonder if prices are even going to skyrocket over what our cartridge ones are,
Right.
because the rarity is going to become a lot more of an issue.
This is true. And
Yeah.
what's funny is we're seeing it right now. They announced PlayStation shutting down the PlayStation 3 side of the
Mhm.
network. PlayStation 3 games are skyrocketing on eBay right now. People
Mhm.
are buying them up. People know that they can't download. So if you have the game right now, you can download the content and then you'll have it. But there was some content you could only download, you know?
Right, right.
Um,
Yeah, digital only.
yeah, so gosh, it's crazy. It's crazy to think. And that's
Yeah.
I've always been a physical media collector.
Mhm.
Duh, right?
You don't say.
Yeah. Really? Wow. But at the same time, like when I play on Xbox,
Mhm.
play on like Xbox One, it is kind of nice to just be able to switch games, you know, and not get a disc and put the disc and find the case and figure out, you know, it's like it's kind of
Mhm.
nice to just, you know,
Yeah.
just
Oh, yeah.
switch games on the fly. So I can see it, but I still like my physical media. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, just a game nerd. Yeah, with phone games, you can see nostalgia going down for consoles.
yeah,
I mean, yes, really, since the smartphones, you figure now that's a generation who, that might be what gaming is to them,
right.
and that is only digital.
Sure, sure. Yeah,
I mean, we can't really downplay, to us, mobile's not gaming. That's
right,
not our gaming choice, but
right.
to others, that's what they go for,
Yeah,
and to each their own.
right. Yeah, mobile gaming for me is just I'm sitting in the waiting room, need to pass the
Mhm.
time, so I'll have that dumb game. Um,
Oh, you meant future nostalgia. Okay, I'm
but
sorry, I
yeah,
misunderstood
I
that
could
that
see that
comment.
though. Yeah. So like what about, you know, because right, my kids, dude, all they do is
Mhm.
mobile gaming. You know, they do
Right.
that more than they play the Switch more than they play anything. So yeah, are they gonna want to try to get those games and get those, you know, like that's kind of interesting.
Right.
Yeah, that's true too, but I'm like when you have to do maintenance to these consoles and as the servers go down and stuff, dude, some games are going to be lost. They're just going to be gone, and you're not going to be able to get them back. Um, that's a
Yeah,
shame.
Randic, your kids are 90% Roblox.
Oh, dude, mine are
Yeah,
the same
full
way.
digit,
Same
full
way.
digital.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. It's crazy. Like I said, I do have a benefit of I do have a local game store. Some places have them still, some places don't. I think local game stores is probably one of your fewer brick and mortar stores that I think can
Mhm.
survive. Like what we're seeing, the internet's taken out
Mhm.
a lot of different stores. So I think gaming stores, I think brick and mortar gaming stores actually have a pretty good chance of survival because I think everyone's always going to want to walk in, even if you've never collected or anything. You just want to find that one game you played back in the day. And I don't remember. I was a girl and I was shooting these aliens and they were this and that. You could go
Mhm.
into a game store and you could tell that to the people working there, and chances are they're going to know what you're talking about. You know, and it's
Right.
like it's. I think having that now I'm talking about like your local retro game. I'm not talking about
Yeah,
GameStop,
not a chain.
right? Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not talking about a game. What's up, Mr. Boss? How's it going? So now okay, but a lot of people hate on GameStops. I don't dislike GameStop. I have used GameStops. I have traded with GameStops. I have bought from GameStops. I think they're awesome. Yeah, Funko and Babbage's. Yeah, like they were
Mhm.
so good for that for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like I don't know. I don't know what's good. I don't know what the future of GameStop is. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's
Hyper Bemis is on that GameStop stock.
yeah. Get that GameStop stock. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the great quarter last quarter. I don't know. It's crazy, crazy.
Yeah,
But I'd say
but yeah,
it's
the local retro store though. I mean, especially like you said, the privately owned ones
yeah, yeah,
who are it's run by individuals who have a passion for the games that they actually stock in their store and try
right.
to acquire.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, that's something I can't see that going away in the near future.
Right.
If anything, I could see it even getting stronger.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's where I don't have many local game stores around me as far as that goes, but I'm fortunate enough I do have one of the bigger nationally known ones is Stone Age Gamer.
Oh, very cool. Very
Is
cool.
is actually local to me, so I actually get to go to their brick and mortar.
That's
So
awesome. That I've
yeah, so
ordered from them.
it's kind of
That's
cool.
really cool. That is
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah, I could see him. I could see him going the same way as Blockbuster, 100%. You can even talking to my local GameStop. They're trying different things. They're trying they're trying phones and different technology. They're selling video cards now. I see every now and again they pop up. Hey, we got 3080s in stock. I'm like, what? Really? Like, wow, you guys are getting into everything. Like, this is crazy. But
Oh yeah. I mean, and have you walked into a GameStop lately?
God,
It's
it's been a
it's
while.
minimal as far
Yeah,
as games go.
yeah,
There's so much just collectibles
right,
and
right,
other type of stuff in there, which
sure,
is kind of cool because otherwise the only place you were able to get that was just ordering online blind.
right. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, yeah, that's true. Again, I would say I've got two that are a 2 minute walk from each other. It's crazy how close they
Mhm.
are. Um,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, like I don't know, there for a while that they were same as Blockbuster. They were like they were the thing, and then now I don't know.
Hey Kenzie.
I don't know. Maybe if we end up having different different uh uh I don't know. Maybe if the stock shoots up again, maybe it'll save it. I don't know. Oh, nice. Dude, Killer Queen Black, that is a great game. I love that game on Switch. That's
Mhm.
a fun game. That'd be a great game to have like a ton of people uh uh sitting around like it's a fun game for sure. 100%.
Yeah, yeah, and you have a point, just a game nerd. That Sony kind of cutting off their classic games.
Yeah.
Nintendo, for better or worse, whatever your opinion may be, Nintendo keeps remaking and re-releasing games
Sure.
from past consoles.
Sure.
But yeah, Sony, I don't know. I mean, Sony has so many IPs that are possible to be brought current,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah, it's kind of just sitting there.
Yeah. No,
Like,
yeah, for sure.
like right now, there's basically you can't. There is no more way to get like the Ratchet and Clank games or the Jack and Daxters. You can't play them on the current gen console.
Right. Right. Yeah, 100%. In fact, that's a solid transition into one of our main topics tonight that we want to talk about. Something that we were talking about yesterday on your stream, and then
Mm-hmm.
I dabbled a little bit in it on Wednesday. So PlayStation 1 versus Nintendo 64. I feel like they were roughly the same era. Obviously, they seem to be competitors of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I'm going to start a poll. You want to start a poll?
Sure,
I'm
let's start a
I'm
poll.
I'm gonna start a poll. Let's see here. If I can remember
Make it
how
a
to do
winner.
it. Yeah, I gotta remember how to do it, and then we're gonna do it. Let's see here. Tell me if you remember how to do it, because I don't have a clue.
In a Stream Manager on the Twitch in the browser, you might have to add it to one of the buttons to the quick actions.
Oh,
I had to
gotcha.
add. It'll be manage polls.
Right.
Let's see which console. How are we going to go this? Which console was your favorite or just straight up which console was better?
Uh,
Because just because one's your favorite doesn't mean you would disagree with the other one being better.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Well,
Let's go which was your
with
favorite.
what? Okay, okay.
Yeah, let's do favorite. Which console was your favorite? We got to put the third of that generation in there, which is the Sega Saturn.
Okay, fine.
Because, you had the two
Honorable
big,
mention, I guess.
yeah, honorable mention.
Or PC Master Race. No. Console. We're talking about favorite console.
Yep.
Favorite console. I'm running for 10 minutes while we talk about it.
Yep, I'm setting for 10.
We'll see if it, out of this generation, Ethan. Out of this generation. Nintendo PlayStation? Yeah. Virtual Boy. Is it kind of random? Like, I feel like Virtual Boy would be easy to make a phone app to just like wear your phone and play. Like, how are they not done it? All right, so we're going live. Here we go. There's your poll. Favorite console. Favorite console. PlayStation 1 versus 64.
I've never run a poll before.
Yeah, me neither. This is my first one. What's up? We're doing all kinds of new things tonight. It's so good. Yeah, I don't understand. You would think that they've come up with something. Maybe Nintendo's not coming off of it, or it was really as bad for you as all the rumors were. Like, it was awful. It was awful. So
what we're gonna do, we're gonna combine our numbers.
Yeah.
For Bemis. So you can,
it'll be fun. We can mix them in. So okay, well, while chat is voting, which one do you prefer?
Which one do I prefer?
Yeah.
I would have to say PlayStation 1.
My man.
Yep. PlayStation 1. I've back then it's like I thought and I thought I wanted a Nintendo 64 more. First PlayStation 1 I got, I bought with my own money, like, still young kid at that time. Bought a PlayStation 1, had it, N64 came out, traded my PlayStation 1 again in N64.
Oh.
Yes. Well, not traded. Sold it to a friend in school.
Sure.
To get a Nintendo 64.
Oof.
And I probably lived Nintendo 64 only for about a year before I got a PlayStation 1 again.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
because
crazy.
Yeah, the novelty wore off.
Yeah. So Nintendo 64. Okay, so for me, 100% PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1. Perfect Dark was on Nintendo 64. This is 24. So Nintendo 64, okay, it was kind of nice still having cartridges, right? Because that was, the world was just learning about load time. And it's like, what is this crap? You know, like I just want to throw a game in, I want to play. Like, what is this? Let's just watch this bar go across, you know? Now it's normal. Now we all deal with it, right? Nintendo 64 did some good things. I think it brought the first person shooter genre to consoles, right? I think it brought the 3D, aspect. I think PC had already been doing some of this stuff. And I think I think Nintendo 64 definitely broke some barriers there. I also think they broke them a little too soon. I don't think they were. I don't know.
It almost still felt like it was proof of concept saying we can do this.
Sure.
We're not polished at doing it.
Right.
Look what we can do.
Right. PlayStation 1, the RPGs. The first real RPGs outside of Zelda that I got into were on PlayStation 1. The Tomb Raider, and that puzzle platformer. I loved it. I really enjoyed the I enjoyed the PlayStation 1. I enjoyed most of the games I played on PlayStation 1.
Resident Evil 1.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Blew my mind. First foray into survival horror.
Yeah, exactly.
I Never played a game like that until then.
So would you say that's your favorite title on PlayStation 1?
Actually, I gotta go real basic on PlayStation 1. The original Ridge Racer.
Oh wow.
I
Wow.
love I love the original Ridge Racer.
That's pretty good.
I drift like a madman, go through
Yeah.
the rain for
Yeah.
unlock. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Twisted
And
Metal
and
was
and that
awesome.
soundtrack.
Yeah, it was.
I love the Ridge Racer
Ridge
soundtrack.
Racer soundtrack was cool. I think I have the long box somewhere in here. I don't know. Long box PlayStation 1 games bothered me.
Mhm.
Hated them. But somehow I have a small collection of them. Yeah, the original Twisted Metal was great. I love the Twisted Metal games.
Oh yeah.
I played a lot of sports games on the original PlayStation. Had buddies again, like our competitive gamer said earlier. That time in life, I had friends. We were playing sports. I was playing basketball. FIFA. When FIFA came to PlayStation 1, that was a fun game to play. All right, I pulled a couple. I pulled a couple from the shelf that were my. I don't know favorites. I do have a favorite game, but I'll get to that one. I'll get to that one last. Final Fantasy VII. I think everybody, if you enjoy RPGs, yeah, if you enjoy RPGs, you probably played this. You probably liked it. I loved it. Funny story about Final Fantasy VII. When I beat Final Fantasy VII, the song 2 by Blur, the woohoo song was playing. So now every time I hear that song, I imagine beating this game. Like it's funny how you
awesome.
connect them. Yep, just like you said, I got some Resident Evils here. Very, very good games. Very amazing games. Yes, Gran Turismo was another one that was really good. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That was a great game. I loved playing this game. I really enjoyed playing Symphony of the Night. Kind of a more obscure. Oh, and then you were talking about the horror genre, Silent Hill. Silent Hill was another Silent one. Hill. Just so good, man. Just like this game, just like the first time I was really freaked out at a game was Silent Hill. Like this game was, it was good. It was good for some jump scares. Tomba was good. So this game looked beautiful. It didn't play as good as it looked. I don't think. I think it was a fun game and I enjoyed it, but it didn't really play as good as it
There we got some chat input over here.
Yeah. What we got?
Yeah. I see. Hyper Bemis talking about that Saturn has a lot of what PS1 has, and it's better for fighting game arcade ports.
Sure.
Than the PS1.
Sure.
Which I agree.
Yeah.
The Saturn did 2D better than the PS1, but Saturn could not do polygons. Like it seemed like it struggled for polygons.
Right.
And then there's and once again, Hyper Bemis, Final Fantasy VII better than Ocarina of Time. It absolutely is.
Hands down. Yes, 100%. Better, much better game. Much better game.
Oh, and then Arandic mentioned Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, the Tony Hawk game.
Yeah,
so good.
The beginning of Tony Hawk.
So good. The I tell you, when they started getting like actual music into like the EA games, started getting Andrew WK and like, oh, so good.
Oh yeah.
When EA still had a soul, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bagoom. Yeah, Parappa the Rapper.
Oh yeah.
As far like I said, Ridge Racer is my favorite, but Parappa the Rapper and the pseudo sequel, Jammer Lammy, right with it for me. Strangest games probably on that platform,
right?
Because there was nothing like that ever before.
Yeah,
but those songs, those songs are just embedded in my brain.
Tony Hawk had better graphics on the Nintendo 64. Tony Hawk might have had better graphics on the Nintendo 64, but I guarantee the soundtrack was better on PlayStation. I guarantee.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet the N64's music was probably in mono.
Yeah.
And highly compressed.
Yeah. So I would like to see some side by side. But yeah, we'll get into some. We'll get into.
Oh, Louise, thank you for the raid.
All right.
Thank you for the raid, Louise. Welcome, Raiders. We are just in the midst of our breakdown of PS1 versus Nintendo 64.
Good old
So
PS1.
yes, which is your favorite console? We have a poll. We still have the poll going on. I don't know how much time is left, but get your votes in. Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, and then we gave the honorable mention of the Sega Saturn in there. So you can choose Sega Saturn.
Yeah. Just to be nice, you know. I did find some I did pull some kind
Sorry
of
about that.
no, that's great. No,
Yeah.
that's good. Good nice little synopsis of where we are. So I pulled some off the shelf that I consider like hidden gems. What would you consider a hidden gem for the PlayStation? You got one obscure one?
Hidden gem?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not sure how hidden, because they were games that like I played first time around even. But Brave Fencer Musashi.
Oh yeah.
That was one of my favorites.
That's awesome. That's a good one.
You don't I think they completely just gave up on that IP.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything further about that? What other PlayStation hidden gems?
Banjo-Kazooie, that's a pretty good one. Those are good. I pulled 3. In fact, one of them, the last one I'll talk about, it's my personal favorite on the platform. So I said I like shmups earlier. Strikers 1945 is a really fun shmup to play on the PlayStation 1, and it plays really well, plays really smooth. It's a good one. A fun game to play is Blasto. This is one that
with Phil Hartman.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. This is one that a lot of people kind of say this is a fun game. Like, this is a good time. Blasto is a really good time. So
nice. Oh, thank you, 8-Bit Beard.
Definitely worth checking out. And then for me, hidden gem that is also my favorite game on the system is Fox Hunt. Fox Hunt it's an FMV game, so little glitchy, little tough. But I'm telling you right now, Fox Hunt, it has the actor from Mad TV in it, and the game is hilarious. You will not stop laughing. I'm gonna give a little. You will not stop laughing. So basically, you're kind of just a lot of people don't. You're kind of just a regular Joe guy, but you know a ton about 70s TV shows, and you get recruited by the CIA because of this knowledge, and it just gets crazy from there. It's just pure shenanigans.
That is
absolutely find a copy of Fox Hunt. It's such a good game. It's so fun. It really is. It is my favorite game. I have a lot of games I enjoy on PlayStation 1, but I love that game. Absolutely love that game. If I could get all the hookups and everything, we'll stream it, because it's funny. It's hilarious.
Oh, that'd make for an entertaining stream.
Oh,
that'd be great.
It's good. Yeah. It is good for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of the full motion games too. Oh, Flawed Sage. Hey, thank you.
Woo-woo.
Thank you for the raid. Oh, that just derailed my train of thought.
The full motion video.
Speaking of full motion video games, that's one game that has not, like, obviously that hasn't left the PlayStation 1. That has never been re-released anywhere. There's another one is that it was in the vein of like Dragon's Lair Space Ace, was Brain Dead 13.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
It had that very, I don't think it wasn't the same company. It wasn't Don Bluth Animation, but it definitely was trying to hit that style.
Right.
Morning cartoon style.
Sure.
But yeah, that was a crazy game. That was actually like a long game for being FMV too.
Right.
It was like a double disc.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see here. I think our poll finished up. I got to see how to check the poll.
Oh, mine just had a view right there. Hey, Army Mike.
I didn't see the end of it.
So while we're looking at the polls,
no need to check Nintendo 64 for win. Wow.
So all the new arrivals, happy Friday to you. This is our new foray into a podcast, though we're calling it a VODCAST because it's video. The Opinionated Gamers VODCAST. We are now discussing PlayStation 1 versus N64 and some memories from those systems eras. We just finished our poll. So did you find your results?
I don't even know where to go look for them. Darn you, Twitch.
hit manage poll again, and you should have a view results.
I used the slash.
Oh, you did
Yeah,
commands.
I did.
I don't know.
Let me see.
I don't know how to get your results.
Let me see. Let me see. Oh, that's just a
Well,
great one. Well, I do have a feeling that Nintendo 64 did win. On
yeah,
my channel.
I have 7 for 64 and 6 for PlayStation 1.
Oh wow, it was close.
It was a close one.
It was
It was a close
close. Dinosaur. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So
yeah.
okay.
So Sage, so PS1 all the way. Okay, so it's tied then.
I
We'll
like
call
it.
tied.
I like so what I'm hearing is that your chat is much more refined and knowledgeable of video games than my chat is. That's what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing. No. Oh. No, okay, look. Okay. So you had your moment, okay? You had your time. Let's talk about why
Let's talk some good first.
Right.
About
So
that
yes. Nintendo 64 did a lot of things. I had Nintendo 64. I still have a Nintendo 64. I haven't played it in years. Yeah, I haven't fired up in years. Nintendo 64 was a console designed to play with friends. It was built for that co-op split screen. GoldenEye, all the wrestling titles, Perfect Dark,
Mario Party,
yep,
Mario Kart.
Party, Mario Kart. Just so many games that were built. GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. So many games that were built to promote playing with friends, playing with other people. First person shooters wouldn't be where they are today if it wasn't for GoldenEye. You know what I'm saying? Like GoldenEye and the game that it was and how awesome it was. I have so many fond memories. I loved playing that game. I loved, hanging out with friends back in high school and just, we would play GoldenEye all the time. It was great. It was amazing. Yeah, 4-player couch co-op, so good.
I gotta agree a bit. PS1 higher quality or quantity of quality titles compared to 64. But if you actually look at how many titles came out on both, PS1 had, what were they, like triple the amount of games?
Yeah, it was like triple. I think 64's library is like 264 cards, I think.
Yeah.
Like
then it's more like 4 times.
Yeah. They're only like 250, 260 cards on.
And so and I will say there are plenty of PS1 games that no thanks.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. 100%. And a lot of people ask too about, getting into retro collecting and things like that. Nintendo 64 is a great system to, if you want to be a completionist, if you want a complete set. Nintendo 64 is you can get a complete set of 64 for under $3,000, and the games are out there. You can still find them. So Nintendo 64 has positives to it. I'm not totally bashing the 64. I'm not saying that it was awful. I have hundreds of hours on it. I loved my time on it. I enjoyed playing it. The problem is where I come from, where I say PlayStation 1, I can go turn on my PlayStation 1 right now and throw Fox on in and have a great time. I would not have that same time with the 64 because I don't have a couch full of people playing with me. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the co-op aspect of it gave me so much nostalgia. It gave me so much love for the system. Whereas the PlayStation was a system that had a ton of single player games, RPGs and the like. And it was more built for just playing alone, and I think that transfers more to today than the 64 does. And the 64's control scheme, come on guys. Come on. Like PlayStation 1 destroys Nintendo 64's controller. I'm sorry. Even before PlayStation 1 got dual analog, I'm talking about just D-pad. D-pad PlayStation 1, man. It oof.
Yeah. Just Game Nerd has the question. So, but what holds up better now? And I actually don't think it's going to be the answer you think, because I say PS1 still holds up better now.
Yeah, I do too. I think I think PlayStation 1, I think there's more titles out of the PlayStation library that you can plug in and play and enjoy than there are on the 64 library. Okay?
Right.
And here's my big thing, my big issue with Nintendo 64. Okay? Okay, everybody, this is it. This is my thing. Donkey Kong 64, right? Everybody loves Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong 64 was a great game, right? You know what game was better? Donkey Kong Country on Super Nintendo.
Oh, and there's this. Hang on one sec.
The Super Nintendo games were superior in every way to their Nintendo 64
counterparts. Apparently, my earbuds don't reach.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I had to take them off.
Oh, that's excellent.
Let's put these back on. Okay. So, but with Donkey Kong 64, you also needed that.
This is true. This is true.
Which, for the resale market, makes Donkey Kong 64 a tough thing to buy because you got to get that upgrade.
100%. Every single time you go to trade in or buy a 64, pull off that memory slot. Make sure you have a memory slot. Okay. Another great title that I played, that everybody played and loved, Mario Kart 64. Good game, fun game, neat game, superior game, Super Mario Kart. I'm sorry. The Super Nintendo versions were better for every major series. Mega Man 64. Bagoom, I want you to play Mega Man 64 for 10 minutes and not tell me how trash this console, this control scheme, this setup is. And then I want you to go pick up Mega Man X and I want you to play some Mega Man X and go, wow, dude, this is so much better. So much. Yeah, Superman 64 is not a solid example. Okay. You were talking about Zeldas earlier. We got Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. Okay. I'm not going to say the worst Zeldas I've ever played. Right. I'm not going to say that. But I'm going to tell you right now, A Link to the Past is a better game. A Link to the Past is so much better. Such a far superior game than either one of these and both of them combined. I'm telling you, I'm sorry. I'm spitting facts. Yeah, right there.
I mean, come on.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
Pixel nailed it.
Best D-pad.
The control schemes on Nintendo 64.
This turned into a show and tell.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the control schemes on Nintendo 64 were awful. You know, and I'm going to tell you right now, as says the title of my stream, Super Mario 64 was the worst Mario game ever made. I'm sorry. If you disagree, you got to tell me a worse game. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Super Mario World, much better game. Super Mario 64, you spent half the game changing the camera angles. Same with Donkey Kong. Yeah. Same with Mega Man. Same with all of their 3D.
And not even with an analog stick.
No.
With 4 directional buttons.
Strange buttons set up in a cross that could have been a D-pad and might have helped. It completely... Yes. Now, okay, Bagoom, I will say this. They set the stage for great things to come. Okay? And I already said that. They did. They set the stage for the 3D games we have today. That was the beginning. But you cannot tell me that there's a worse Mario game than Super Mario 64. You can't do it. Now, Pixel, you came close when we talked about this the other day with Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
Galaxy was rough, but why do we not like Galaxy? It had a very similar control scheme. Oh, Sunshine? You didn't like Super Mario Sunshine? I enjoyed Super Mario Sunshine. I
see, at least and the faults that we're really having with Mario 64, Sunshine did correct.
Yeah.
Because the camera was on a stick.
Right. It's the same style of open world 3D, but the tracking on it was better, the control scheme on it was better, the controller was better, all right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, is the one with the crying baby better than Mario 64? Well, Technically, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Technically speaking, yeah. Yeah, 100%. I had someone in chat the other day. We touched on this. Talk about Hotel Mario. Hotel Mario is actually not bad. It was. I think it was on CDI. It wasn't. It wasn't bad. It was. It was a different take.
It
And
was
then,
more the fault of the system, I think.
yeah, yeah.
It was not a Nintendo
Right,
console.
right.
So I don't know. It kind of gets a pass.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I don't really consider even the Zelda games that came out for that. I didn't get that. Levels were not as good. Gameplay was not as good. Had a weird water gun gimmick that added nothing good and dragged it down. Wow. 100% Mario 64 right now. So I played it. I tried playing it on the DS. I will say the DS was a little better to play it because the controls were obviously better. I also played on the Switch with the re-release that came out. I'm sorry to tell you, it's still not a good game. Still not a good game. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's our unpopular opinion of the week. At least mine. I really.
Worminator, thank you for the raid.
I absolutely think that Mario 64 is the worst Mario game. Even Mario 2, like I liked Mario 2. I liked it was different. Understanding that it wasn't. Even Mario Lost Levels, which was supposed to be Mario 2. It was tough, but
they want to know more why you thought it was bad, more than just the camera.
So I would say the camera and control scheme was most of it for me. Outside of that, it was a typical Mario game. The open world concept was new. So I feel like a lot of times everyone that's played it, you get lost at some point. You're like, oh crap, I got to go around here, and you go the wrong way around the castle, to the wrong door, to the wrong. So the open world concept, well, as open as they could get back then. Well,
one of my gripes with that open worldness too was the fact that when you went into the worlds, you went into an instance specific to what star you were going after.
Sure.
Which was kind of off-putting, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, and and so really, okay. So biggest complaint, what was the camera control? Just awful. You spent half your game changing the camera angle. Like I like, no matter who plays it, how you play it, you're moving that camera around all the time to try to figure out where you are, what you're looking at, and then beyond that, the open world stuff just wasn't polished enough. And again, I played the game, I've beaten the game. I did enjoy the game, playing the game. I do think it's the weakest Mario title. And still to this point, Mario Sunshine, I don't know, man. Mario Sunshine was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed Mario
and I'm not the only one that thinks that. There's a lot of people that loved Mario Sunshine. A lot of people that love Mario Sunshine. Like that was the GameCube's just Shazam, you know? Galaxy comes close. Like when I ask people, okay, give me a worse Mario game, like change my mind, you know, like the picture said, right? Change my mind. Mario Galaxy was pretty close because I did not like that control scheme either.
I think what I didn't like too about it is I don't know, like the concept.
Right.
Of you're running around the orbs of planets.
Sure.
And that just, I don't know. It was meant to feel big, but it actually felt like a very like small workshop game.
Right. Very, very on the rails, kind of.
Exactly. It's like, okay, you're going here. Okay, this is what you get.
Right. Exactly. And you know, just Mario. The best part of Mario 64 was dropping the penguins, which is kind of what I'd like to do to this cartridge. Just drop it. Just
drop it.
Mm-hmm. So
Mario, I got to say, Mario 64. I have a little guilty pleasure too. It's fun to pop on, play a level or two, but I just can't.
No. No,
I can't put a lot of effort into it.
no. I feel like any other Mario game you can put in and just play and play and play and play and play, and
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah, and I mean, to some, Mario 64 is that, and it's definitely not me.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, no, and she, to be honest, like I'm not saying that I didn't like 64 at the time. The
Mhm.
64, the 64 in general was revolutionary for sure. Like,
Very much
and
a
we talked
product of its
about that.
era.
Yeah, and we talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that, and it broke ground and it did things. I had one and I loved it. I had it in my dorm room in tech school. When I was learning my job in the Air Force, and dude, my room was packed out every night with people playing GoldenEye, playing Perfect Dark, you know, and so I have fond memories. I played really good games on it, but today, sitting down and playing those games, I have more fun playing other consoles, and
Mhm.
specifically in this comparison to the PlayStation One. I can put in several games on a PlayStation One and have a better time. Um, Mega Man 64. All right, you're my Mega Man expert. Mega Man 64 to me, it felt like reskinned Doom or Wolfenstein. You know, like it was just I did
Yeah,
not like it at all. Like, and it had all the
they
same camera issues, but
yeah, it's like how does that line go? They massacred my boy.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's like I would love your take, being our resident Mega Man expert.
Yeah, I
Um,
absolutely love Mega Man. And for those of you, like, just to say how much I love Mega Man is earlier, probably about 6 months ago, I played through on stream Mega Man 1 through 11 and Mega Man X 1, 2, 3, 4 in like the span of a month.
right, right,
And we played through all of them and I loved every minute of it.
right.
And I'm ready. And heck, even right now, I've been. What was I doing yesterday? I was playing the Sega Genesis, the Mega Man Wily Wars.
Nice.
But Mega Man 64,
Uh,
I played it back in the day.
mm,
I will not fire that game up now.
right, right.
I tried once,
Yeah,
and I have no interest in playing it.
can't do it.
Now on other games though, for the 64 that were actually, in my opinion, enjoyable, and I still have fun with. I love playing Cruis'n USA.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Cruis'n USA,
yeah.
I still play Wave Race from time to time,
Sure.
and I will fire up and play Killer Instinct Gold because that was kind of its own little twist on Killer Instinct 2.
Sure,
Though,
sure.
though, though I gotta say, Nintendo, with how obviously when it was originally rumored to coming, it was going to be the Ultra 64,
Oh, right, 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 right.
and the Killer Instinct arcade game, Killer Instinct 1, was saying only available on the Nintendo Ultra
Right,
64.
right, right, right.
We never got the first game
Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
60. It took us until what, the Xbox 360
Right.
to see, no, not even the 360, the Xbox One,
Yeah,
to see the original Killer
yeah,
Instinct actually
yeah.
come home
That's true. That's
in,
true.
in its true arcade form.
Sure, sure.
But yeah,
You know, and I did compare them, and the Super Mario Kart, Mario Kart 64, that's a game I could probably play. I think it had better camera controls, better. I could probably throw it in right now, um,
mhm.
and play it. And it probably wasn't as bad as I'm making, but dude, I
It's
don't.
more by comparison, I guess you would say,
Yeah, yeah.
compared to previous Mario Kart.
Right, right, right. But you know, like Star Fox, F-Zero, Pilot Wings. I just
Yeah.
so many of those games, like I don't know, they were better. The playability of them, they might not have looked as good, but the playability was better on Super Nintendo. Their predecessors, you know.
Mhm.
Um, but that
Yeah.
it is what it is, and 100%. No, I'm glad that everyone came. I'm glad to hear that you know there is still love for the 64 because I want to sell all mine. I want to get rid of them all because they're all.
So
So
is this the
yeah,
announcement of an
yeah,
auction coming
yeah.
soon?
It's like I got the sweet orange 64. I got all the pretty much all the games people look for. And yeah, I never play it. It's bad. I hold on to it for nostalgia. I don't ever plug it in. Me and the wife fire up some Perfect Dark here and there, and we have fun with that. But and GoldenEye too. You know, I bet if I got three of you guys here on the couch, we'd have some fun with some GoldenEye. But just sitting here, I'm gonna fire up PlayStation for sure.
Star Fox was not better on SNES. That game ran at like 10 frames per second.
Yeah.
It did run
Yeah.
really slow.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we're talking frame rates though too, and obviously there's no comparison for it, but have you fired up GoldenEye lately?
Yeah, right.
I never realized back in the day in my memories of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this game was great, fast, and smooth.
Yeah.
It is not smooth.
No, not at all. It was rough.
It's
Kermie.
Yeah. Still has the nostalgia, but man, it is a lot choppier frame rate than I thought.
That's funny. Kermie, you're the first one to bring up Pokemon Snap. And to be honest with you, I think Nintendo 64 did great at Pokemon games. I am not a Pokemon fan. Like I never got into them. We ended up spending some time in Germany, and Pokemon never really caught on over there. So I never had availability to the games. But I think that's a win in the Nintendo 64 column is Pokemon Snap. That's a good one. That's a good one for sure. But yeah, no, I think each console had its own thing. Yeah, Super Smash Brothers was good. The Mario parties were good.
You're right. You're right, 8-Bit Beard. Yeah.
Playing them alone, I don't think you'd enjoy it. I think you'd pick up Smash Melee on GameCube before you'd pick up and then you get into some generational things. Nintendo did have some amazing titles. They had some amazing stories, they had amazing characters. They always did. That's why they were king. And that's honestly why they're still, pretty much king. They do great when it comes to their IPs, but
right.
Yeah, just kind of meh.
Yeah, performance and hardware aside, they still bring their A game.
Yeah, 100%. Which kind of bleeds us into another thing, which actually you mentioned earlier, Bagoom, Pac-Man 99. So another thing that the Switch has done is done things like Super Mario Brothers 35, Tetris 99, Pac-Man 99. They've incorporated the Super Mario Bros. 35 specifically, but Battle Royale seems to be every new game that comes out, right? They've been talking a lot this week about Battlefield's going to come out with a Battle Royale. So for switching gears to like modern style games, how do you feel about Battle Royale games?
I personally am not a huge fan.
Yeah.
I'm an old school single player gamer type.
Sure.
Like I have enough trouble competing against the AI and getting stressed out.
Right.
Competing against other human players.
Right.
Not best for my blood pressure.
Sure. Dude, I tell you, hey, Grim Smiles, how's it going? I tell you, I love Battle Royale games. The intensity that you get from knowing that this is your life, this is your shot. You put 20 minutes into a game, right? And all of a sudden, you die and it's it. It's over. It's 20 minutes wasted, but when you get a win, like there is not a better high for me as a gamer than winning a Battle Royale game. I feel like multiplayer Call of Duty stuff like that used to be so good, used to be a lot of fun, and we'd work together, we team and this and that. You jump on there now, nobody's talking, nobody's playing the objective, nobody's really doing it. It's not as competitive as it used to be. And it goes back into kind of like the overarching thing. I think having friends that you play with and stuff help a lot. In both of them. Battle Royales make you angry? Yeah. I know a lot of people like that. And me too. Oh man, nothing will make me more mad than second place. man, I want to throw a controller. Like just, but I think what's special about battle royale games, and they're all a little different. Fortnite's got its building, Warzone is very fast paced. PUBG's very slow paced, very more, like your simulator top. I think that what is awesome about a battle royale game that a lot of people don't think about, Fall Guys, right?
I was just gonna say, I had fun with Fall Guys.
Right. So
I think that had to do with you couldn't cause immediate harm to the other players.
Sure.
So I think that kind of took some of that stress away
Yeah.
of not like Just a Game Nerd was saying, it's like 5 seconds in, dead.
Right.
Respawn, dead.
Right. And it absolutely, it takes away some of that, but at the same time, if you're the winner out of 100 people,
it's satisfying.
It's so good. It's just so good. And I think that feeling that everyone can agree winning a game like that with Battle Royale is awesome. And I think it's even funner than winning a multiplayer match. You're like, wow, this was cool. Good job, guys. But winning that Battle Royale, and even Fall Guys, they've gotten now to where you can grab other players. You can bump them off ledges. You can block them out. You can, and so it's always competitive. But Super Mario 35, the Pac-Man that just came out, it takes a game that everybody knows how to play Pac-Man. You might not be great at it. I'm not great at Pac-Man, but everyone knows to go eat the pellets. And Mario, same way. Just about everybody can play Super Mario Brothers. And the concept of all the enemies you kill go to other players' screens, and you can sort of sabotage. I think it's neat. I think it takes that awesome feeling of winning a battle royale and playing in a battle royale and being the victor, and ports it over to a type of game that isn't a first-person shooter that anybody can play. The people that don't really enjoy first-person shooters can try out. Pac-Man 99 did some things different. I don't know that I tried playing a little bit of it. It's very very confusing. It's like there's a ton of stuff going on. And it's
it's not just jump in, play Pac-Man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's
like Tetris was Tetris.
Right.
Just competing against other people. Same with Mario. But
The Pac-Man, they do this thing. They send you other random ghosts. It's so weird. It's very, very strange. It's very, very different. But like Super Mario 35, man, I really liked that. Like it was cool. That was a good time.
And that kind of brings up another point of discussion. It's gone.
Yeah. Right.
Like it discontinued.
Right. And like it's like, yep.
Yeah. How are you going to put a game out? I mean, clearly they have a method to their madness, but how are you going to put a game out,
right?
Get everyone hooked and be like, and no more.
Yeah. Absolutely. Just a Game Nerd. Very, 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 very good point when it comes to battle royales. Battle royales definitely started creeping down that pay to win, that pay to win path, and that was ugly.
When it got past cosmetics.
That was bad. And even the current ones, Warzone. So many times there's this. You find out that you can buy this skin for this gun and it actually makes it more powerful. And you're never going to convince me that the devs didn't do that on purpose, right? Because even if they're like, wow, we didn't know, we'll fix it in the next patch. Well, now for the next month until they patch it, everyone's going to buy that skin. It's like, because you got to stay competitive, and yeah, exactly. 100%. And that is a huge problem. That bothers me so much. To this day, my favorite battle royale is still PUBG, and it was really the first. I mean, they came along just before Fortnite did, but but it's slow paced, it's different, it's and there's still cheaters in that. There's still cheaters in all of them, which is sad. I don't understand cheating in a game, because then when you win, did you win? Like, no, like I don't know. I don't get it. But
Right.
I tell you, I don't think that I, Battle Royale's here to stay. And actually, the Battlefield Battle Royale does look really cool. Pretty excited about it. As a huge fan of Battle Royale games. But I do like this way that they've come up with new ways to give that same experience to people. Pac-Man, Tetris, and Super Mario 35 when it was out. I can only assume that they're going to maybe release a physical copy, take it up to 100. They got to do something with it. It was too popular.
I don't know. I have this suspicious feeling that we've seen the last of it.
Wow. It was
I
so
think
popular.
I think that's it. It's gone.
Unreal.
We might get another game in the same vein, but
Sure. Sure.
I think that game's gone.
Gosh, that's crazy.
I think they did use it just as a celebration for Super Mario Brothers
Wow.
anniversary, and that's it.
Wow. Yeah,
which is disappointing.
It is because it was a good game. It was fun.
Yeah.
Fall Guys, I enjoyed Fall Guys. I think they've added some things since I played it last, but that's another one that's good. More of a platformer style. You got to kind of puzzle solve on the fly. That's good. Yeah. No, that's a shame. It really is, and it does. It goes back to that discussion of physical media versus
digital.
And it's a shame. It really is. A lot of these like limited run games places and stuff that put out the games on physical media. I love that. It sucks you got to pay a premium for them, but I enjoy it. I think it's worth it. I do.
Yeah, because otherwise, I mean, you're relying on a digital storefront for the ability to purchase it.
Sure.
So if you don't purchase it in the window of that storefront existing, like with PS3's issues and whatnot,
right,
then you don't have a chance.
Right.
Download servers, they usually keep up a little longer, but eventually that's gonna go offline.
Sure.
So then that leaves you down to where if you already downloaded it, you have it on your drive or your SD card or whatever it be for that system you're playing it on.
Right.
When that fails, gone.
Sure.
And then you're gonna see. I think that's where we'll see the surges of which I thought was nuts, but for like Flappy Bird,
right,
on the phone,
right.
Because when it disappeared, people are selling their device that had that game on it because you couldn't get it any other way.
Sure.
Same goes with the Silent Hills, the playable trailer,
right,
the playable teaser,
sure.
which this is just a personal gripe. I hate that people refer to that as PT. The game is called PT.
Right.
The game was called Silent Hills.
Right.
Because if you finished it, it showed you the title.
Yeah.
PT meant playable teaser.
Right. That's funny.
I don't know sorry, that was an aside. That was just something that's.
I like it.
Let me get that off my chest there.
Yeah, right. That's funny.
But
that's funny.
But yeah, I mean, and you're getting people who, and that's only a demo,
right?
What happens when the real legit games that people want that were digital only,
sure,
are no longer available,
right?
And there weren't physical versions. We're going to see, unfortunately, a lot of loss of just products,
right.
Where at least somebody somewhere has these Nintendo games on a shelf or these Sega games on a shelf.
Yep.
Even with the Switch, limited run games on a shelf.
Sure.
But there's going to be eventually software that is never seen or heard from again.
Right.
And it's going to be forgotten.
That is a shame. It really is.
Yeah.
It is a shame.
So now that I'm done with my downer,
yeah, right.
my downer of a topic, but yeah, I mean, that's where I hope limited run games, as well as maybe even some other pop-up distributors, start doing that.
Yeah. And that's
same thing happens with movies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's true too, Goom. Yeah, like One Up Arcade makes it into a cabinet, and even talking about emulation, right? Mm-hmm. 8-Bit Beard, mentioned that, and so emulation, licensing, piracy,
Mhm.
like you get into that gray area of, so according to the law in the United States, if you own a copy of a game, you're allowed to back it up and play the backup, because the company is not going to reimburse you for that game. Sega CD disc rot. You know what I'm saying? They're not going
Right.
to reimburse you for that. So it's perfectly legal to own copies of things that are either outside of license, right? That are freeware for everyone now, or games that you own. You can own backup copies of them. And the emulation debate, that's a maybe a subject, and the pros and cons to doing it, but I think playing games through an emulator, through an EverDrive, through there's benefit to that. There's benefit to even these carts on the wall back here. Like, man, every time you put one in, it could fry, and that's a
Mhm.
that's a $200 cart now, right? So it's like there's definitely benefit to it for sure. And
Yeah.
yeah, companies that are making things to enable us to do that, like One Up Arcades, those arcade machines, trying to get a 4-player Ninja Turtles arcade in your house somewhere is insanity. But they got that sweet little 3/4 TMNT set up, and they go through and they do the licensing and things like that, but it's still emulation. It's still not the
Right.
original FPGA that was on the boards, but it's interesting.
Right. Yeah, and then I mean, as far too with you figure with, I mean, I'm going to get a little into that emulation topic that we touched upon earlier. Is okay. So, what about the people who? I mean, when is emulation all right? When a game is no longer readily available, not even purchasable.
Sure, sure,
That raises some interesting questions,
sure.
because that's something that nobody would be able to ever play if it's, you got to have the physical version of it in order to play a copy.
Right,
Eventually, this stuff's going to be gone.
right, right. 100%
Not,
from
not to mention how rare some of them are. Some of them are
sure,
unattainable
sure.
for an average person.
Yeah,
You're not going to be able to drop $1,000
yeah,
on a game.
yeah. Like Little Samson, perfect
Right?
perfect
Exactly.
example. And
Yeah,
it's
$800 game.
yeah, and it's a fun game. It's not a bad game. It's one of those most obscure titles on the NES weren't fun, by the way. Like they weren't the
Right.
greatest games to play. But Little Samson was one that was a great game to play.
Hmm.
And it's hard to find. And when you do find it, yeah, you're coughing up $800 to $1,500 based on, what, well, who's selling it and what time it is, and so yeah, stuff like that. I've played Little Samson. I've never touched a physical copy, so it's
Yeah.
like emulation is the only option for that. Now, I'd love to own one someday. Will I? I don't know. It gets
Just
worse from there. Like a World Championship cart, that's a $20,000 cart. Like, there's only so many of them made that, it's crazy. It's who's paying 20 grand for a cart that has a little bit of Mario, a little bit of Tetris. It's like it's crazy,
the
completely
games.
insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
chances are slim. I like it. I like it.
But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting position to be put in,
Right,
as to, do you want to spend $20,000
right,
for said championship cart,
right.
just to say that you've experienced that timered competition game?
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. And here's the deal too: is when you spend that $20,000, not a
Mhm.
dime is going back to the people who made it. Not a dime is going to Nintendo. Not a dime is going to. So you've gotten so far into the resale market, like you emulating that game is not hurting them. They're not. It's not a product that they're currently selling. You know what I'm saying? And if I can't go to Walmart, if I can't bring up Amazon, and I can't order this game from the publisher, from the developer, then how does my emulation hurt them? Because I'll tell you, I think creating video games is an amazing art. I think the programming and the work and the artistry that goes into doing it is amazing, and I think you should support them, you know. And then the only way we're going to get better, you know, more awesome games is if we support the people that are in the field doing it, you know. And so buying games is a good thing, you know, but getting out there and buying games. But once you get to the point where you're no longer supporting those people, you're supporting someone else that, you know, had good luck at a garage sale.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see where emulation is hurting the industry, where it's hurting, you know, things like that. And that's, you know,
right. Exactly. Like for instance, oh, now I'm drawing a blank. I was just thinking like, okay, brand new game just came out. You know, it's not like you're running out. Go emulate that.
Sure.
Because that's wrong.
Right.
Because
right.
you are not compensating the company for playing their product.
Sure.
But
it's available.
Yeah, exactly. Though,
yeah.
with games that are out of print, yeah, you can no longer get through legitimate means.
Right.
Short of resellers.
Sure. Yep. And that's, you know, that's the way it is. You can't be on both sides. You know, you can't talk about how, you know, resellers are evil and how they, you know, do this and that, and then also say, and the people that emulate, you know, and play ROMs, they're evil too, you know, and you can't, because it's the same thing. Like, you're either supporting one or the other, you know. And you're never going, yeah, exactly, Mrs. 24. I'm going to tell you right now, I have built hundreds of Raspberry Pis with tens of thousands of games. I've built arcades, I've built consoles, I've modded consoles, I've done everything, and I have a room full of games behind me. So if you want the physical copy, you're going to go get the physical copy. I'm proof of that. I guarantee you that, whether you emulate it or not. And at some point, you know, you have to think, you know, it's I don't know. I don't think emulation is as evil as people make it out to be sometimes. And there's limitations to that for sure, because
it's a very, very gray area.
Yeah.
As far as there's a lot with good intention behind it, but then there's a lot of stuff where you should not be doing.
Right. Exactly.
It's a huge playing field.
Sure.
It's not as simple as saying emulation's bad.
Yeah, no, for sure. No black or white answers. And even you know, when you talk about resellers and you know anybody that sold me a Nintendo game for $100, they're a reseller, you know, like, you know, and but I don't look at that guy the same way as I look at the guy selling me a 3080 for $2,000, you know. So but I think it boils down to that availability, you know, and you know, it's you get way deep into the whole bots and how they acquired the card, and you know.
Yeah, that's a whole nother avenue of conversation. With the whole with the new consoles and the new graphics cards, and it just seems to be just mad rush to try to even fight to get a chance to purchase these items.
Yeah.
Not even saying you're going to get it.
Yeah, and you never know. Yeah, Just Game Nerd, I'm with you. I think if a company got spooled up into making cartridges for, and there's companies that do it, you can go out there and you can get reprogrammable NES boards, you know, and you can actually there's software still too where you can make your own Nintendo game, you know, and I've dabbled in that and played with that, and that's fun, but it's also not fun. It's also horrible. But I think that if companies would, it's all about making money now, you know, and if it costs you, you know, more than $5 to make a cartridge, you know, you got to sell it for 30 to make it worth it, you know, and it's a shame, you know, that's and that goes into a much deeper crazy conversation on like outsourcing and things like that. But if and that's where I think companies like Limited Run Games, they found that niche, you know, they found that Rose Colored Games, another one. There's a bunch of them out there, and they do a really cool thing where they take these digital products, they get the licensing for it, they make physical copies that you'll always have, and you know, it's I've got a couple of them. I've got I picked up actually I got Guns Gore and Cannoli on yeah, I did pick that up.
Nice.
Yep, I got oh gosh, I don't know.
That was a fun co-op stream in the
That
past.
was fun. That was fun. We actually got a few copies of the second one. I got a copy to give you one of these days. Got a code to send you. Bagoon found it uber
Also,
cheap, so we snagged them up.
so we're gonna have our sequel stream.
Yeah. The sequel stream's coming out for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, no,
But yeah. The other point I see, just a game nerd, about the good luck playing it on a console that doesn't exist anymore. It is nice to see that there are places like, I mean, they charge a premium for it, but that's because they're doing something no one else is. Look at Analog with their consoles.
Sure.
You know, giving you the ability to play Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. They have the new the Turbo one coming out.
Yep.
And then you have, for the disc-based games, you have the Polymega,
Right.
which is supposed to cover Sega CD, the original PlayStation. I mean, so when you have those systems and you're not in the knowledge or not in the know-how to actually fix the mechanical parts in the disc plays or in the disc-based systems, you have the Polymega to look at.
Yeah.
That way you can keep playing your collection or whatever games that you purchase.
Sure. Another good one, Retron, the Retron systems.
Oh yeah, the Retron.
So what's interesting about those is you put your cartridge in and you're playing an emulator. You're not playing from the cartridge. The Retron will read the cartridge and access a digital database of stored inside of it, you know? And so, okay, at that point, are you playing the cartridge or are you emulating? Well, you're emulating, really. I mean, you had to put the cartridge in to unlock it, but at the end of the day, you're just, you know, it's emulation.
Yeah, you're playing your backup.
Right. No kidding. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But and I do. There's pros and cons of both sides, but I don't think emulation is bad. I think emulation has done more good than bad. I think there's on my Xbox, I have there was a StarCraft Ghost game that came out. Well, it didn't come out actually. They got 4 levels into developing it and the project folded. And it's like a first person, I think it's first person, might be third person shooter StarCraft game. It's really cool. It's like in the StarCraft universe. It's pretty awesome. Original Xbox, just, you know, looks good, plays good. It never came out. Someone found it on a dev console somewhere and captured it and put it out there for everyone to get, you know, and without that, it'd be lost, you know, like you never have any of this stuff that people work so hard on. And it's neat when you see developers of games do that too. And every now and again, you'll see a Twitter post or something like, hey, here's this game I was working on 20 years ago. You guys go check it out, you know? And you know, Doom, when Doom originally came out, that was the, you know, Doom was it was free. And then if you paid for it, they give you the code to where you could modify it. You could change it. You could do you could make the levels whatever you want, you know, on PC. And like, so there's such good things that come with it. And I hope it keeps up, because it's saved a lot of property and a lot of content for us, for sure.
Yeah. And then I see, just a game nerd. Yeah, when your PS2 and PS3 die, there aren't good emulation options.
Yeah, no, not
so
right now.
We're in that dark area to where when those, when you lose the hardware, it's going to be rough to find something that will actually play them.
For sure.
I mean, obviously, for a period of time, you're still going to be able to purchase those systems used.
Yeah.
But at some point, they're going to become more scarce.
Right. Yeah, you can always put a hard drive, nice big hard drive in a PS2, mod it, put all your games on hard drive. They'll load faster too, so that's kind of cool.
Yep, eliminate that disc. Disc load time.
Right. No kidding. But yeah, no, I like it. I think it's good. I think in whole.
I've seen the PS emulators, 8-bit that run them, but I haven't seen ones that are that consistent for PS2 though.
Yeah.
Or PS3 without a lot of weird anomalies.
Right.
Because you got to look at that too. Is you got to look at the accuracy of how they run.
Sure. Yeah, and that's well. There's another good check mark for Nintendo 64. Nintendo 64 is very difficult to emulate. So putting it on very powerful machines is still difficult. And then even when you do get it running right, you kind of have to. The control scheme's still weird because of their original control scheme. But
I mean, you still even end up with like some odd like broken shaders or textures that just don't seem like they load in proper.
Right. It never runs right because of the way the physical hardware handled the playing of the game. So it's different. Crash on a Pi Zero, that's cool. I do a lot of stuff on Pis, man. Raspberry Pis are awesome. They're good. So the kind of the only other thing that I was really kind of curious to talk about tonight, and so we're kind of veer away from gaming a little bit, is because I've been kind of on a Star Wars kick. And are you a Star Wars fan, George?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, good. Okay,
good. Let me show you.
Okay, this is good. I don't want to be out here alone because kind of a big Star Wars nerd, for sure. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, outstanding.
I got my from when episode 1 hit.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's the Anakin lightsaber, which ironically is the one that is pretty much through the series of the entire saga.
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, it's Luke's lightsaber. I'm like, it's Anakin's lightsaber.
That
went to Luke, that went to Rey.
Yeah. And
then
do we ever figure out how it went to Rey? Because the arm got
actually even goes on camera good.
Oh yeah, that's excellent. That's awesome. Oh, that's great. That's good. Yeah, because Luke dropped it when he got his hand cut off in Cloud City, right?
Correct.
And then yeah, how did it go from there? That's interesting. That's good.
We never got the story.
Yeah, never really got the backstory. That's a story for another time, which they forgot to cash in on in the last Star Wars. So
yes,
I
want a series about that.
Yeah, 100%. I will reserve. So here's something that I've been doing. So Mandalorian, when Mandalorian came out, big fan of the Mandalorian. I absolutely love it. I don't think Jon Favreau can do anything bad at this point. I think the guy is just great. And who's the guy? Filoni that did did Clone Wars, and he did Mandalorian with him. Dave Filoni. I think
it's Dave Filoni.
Yeah, Dave Filoni.
Probably wrong.
Yeah, if I'm wrong, fact checkers can hit me later. So, two great, amazing storytellers, and like anything future Star Wars that happens, if those two aren't in the room, like I don't care about it, right? Like they make some great, awesome content. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big fan. So, the last season of Mandalorian came out, and a lot of references back to Clone Wars. Ahsoka was in it. I will say, we're not going to drop spoilers here. However, we might talk about some things, if you haven't seen the end of Mandalorian, you're not a real Star Wars fan anyway. So, you're probably already left the stream. So, so I was very interested. I watched some of the Clone Wars, the animated series, never watched all of it, never finished it up. I was watching it when they canceled it at the end of the 6th season, and it wasn't going to have that solid tie-in to episode 3 like it should have. They canceled it. Then they brought it back, and they actually made the last few episodes to tie in with episode 3, and that was good. So one of the things that I've done, because I have an awesome Disney Plus subscription, is you can watch the last 4 episodes. Here, I'm going to post a link. I posted this on Twitter a couple days ago. I'm going to post a link. So that link takes you to a Twitter post I made. It actually there's a way that you can watch the last 4 episodes of the animated series of Clone Wars, and it coincides perfectly with watching episode 3. And you can pause episode. You can pause episode 3 at points and pick up on the Clone Wars and bounce back and forth. And they play together really well. I mean, it's
in my chat.
Okay, excellent. It is really good.
Instead of typing the number.
Yeah, right. If you haven't if you haven't watched it in that fashion, so what I did on the post was mark all the times and the episodes and how to bounce back and forth. If you didn't, so much Star Wars, I'm telling you, if you didn't, if you haven't never watched in that fashion, I recommend it. It is really cool, and it's been around for a little while now. And so I did. I went through the Clone Wars. I watched episode 3. It gave me new appreciation of 3. I liked the original, or not the original. I liked the prequels. The prequel trilogy got a lot of hate, I think. I enjoyed them. I liked them. Things I could have maybe done differently. I would have loved some more Darth Maul. You know, Ray Park was awesome. So
Yeah.
that would have been really awesome. But you know, that's okay. That's all right. What I'm seeing now, though, is Disney Plus has set up this lineup of new series and things that are going to be coming out, which is awesome. Mandalorian's going to continue, which is great. Andor is going to pick up a little bit of Rogue One, which there's another movie. A lot of people didn't like Rogue One. I really enjoyed it. I thought.
See, I am the opposite. I could have done without Rogue
You
One.
did like Rogue One? Wow.
I did not like Rogue One.
I enjoyed it so much. I thought it was interesting. That it wasn't the greatest movie I've ever watched in my life, right? But I liked how it played into the series. I think it did. It's interesting how they took like one line from like the original, you know, many Bothan spies have died for this information, right? And it just created this whole, you know, backstory, right?
See, now here, this might be my nerd coming out here.
I'm ready.
A little bit. They weren't Bothan,
right?
Because the Bothan spies actually was for the second
Death Star. That's right.
Right. So we didn't really hear much about these people at all.
Right. And it was kind of I did love how
we'll have Rogue 2, which is all the Bothan.
Yeah, right. That'll be about maybe Andor will get into it.
Actually, maybe he's help responsible for that.
Topic for the next podcast: who's your favorite character and why is it Jar Jar? Oh man, someone's got to time out. Someone's got to time out the misses. That's awful. I
agree, but yeah, Rogue One is better than the new trilogy.
Yeah. Okay, well, what about Solo?
Solo, I have mixed feelings about Solo. I enjoy the fact that they, and I guess spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna say spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen Solo, that they acknowledge that Darth Maul is still alive.
Right.
That to me was like the biggest thing out of that movie that I got was the fact that you saw Darth Maul.
Right. I liked Solo. I enjoyed Solo.
I thought that one was a fun movie.
Yeah, I liked the casting that they did. I think the casting was pretty good. Young Solo, he did a good job of don't try to be Harrison Ford, but try to carry some of his mannerisms across, you know. And so that's kind of neat. I think they did a pretty good job there.
They nailed it with Lando.
Yeah. 100%, man.
I mean, he was
what's his name? Glover, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So good. And he's actually gonna get a series. They're gonna do a Lando Calrissian series on Disney Plus. So Disney Plus is going. Do you really need his backstory? Well, it's Han Solo, man. But actually, funny that you mentioned that. Because there is a Disney Plus series that I think Pixel and I do have that question on. I will say, after watching the Clone Wars, seeing the Bad Batch is going to come out. It's going to be another animated series like the Clone Wars, but I enjoyed the Bad Batch episodes of the Clone Wars series, so I think that'll be interesting. Ahsoka's backstory, that'll be good seeing, kind of like, depending on how they take it. Are they going to show kind of like where she was throughout the time? Because she was in Rebels, the next animated series that came out. But Rebels was kind of more of a kid's show. I'm actually in the middle of watching it now. It was more of a kid's show, so it's tough to really roll that one. I will tell you the one I am looking forward to. The absolute one is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi has always been my favorite. Like, just I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ewan
Yeah.
McGregor killed it in the prequels. I think he was just you know, he was pretentious enough. He was a little bit of a know-it-all, and it was kind of cool, man. Dude, he definitely had emotions and feeling, and you draw a lot of that too from the Clone Wars anime series. You really get to see more of his backstory, and so it's interesting. Like, they couldn't have been planning these all together. You know, they couldn't have been putting this, but maybe they talked about it one time. You know, maybe
they just have a rough outline.
Yeah,
of it.
they're just like, yeah, you know, it'd be kind of
do
interesting.
these stories.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it'd be neat if we do that.
And with Obi-Wan too, like the fact that they acknowledged that Hayden Christensen is on cast for it.
Right.
Which everyone's like, oh, but he's Vader already.
Right.
But what type of Star Wars magic are we going to do?
Sure.
Are we going to go the route of the whole Force link?
Right.
They had, that Rey and Kylo had.
Sure.
Or are we actually going to be lots of flashbacks?
Right. Yeah, there could be flashbacks to the Clone Wars, and some Chewie, some Chewbacca backstory. Yeah, Chewie's my boy. I like Chewie. That would be cool. I think they can do a ton. And when's the time frame of Obi-Wan? Maybe it starts towards the end of the Clone Wars, or just towards the end of Episode 3. Maybe there's a little there, you know, and then it kicks off to him going to Tatooine and you know, learning to talk to like Qui-Gon Jinn, you know, like that could be really cool.
Oh yeah. Liam Neeson better appear.
Yeah, if we get a little Liam Neeson, that would be excellent. That would be outstanding. It would just really
considering that's the homework Yoda gave Obi-Wan.
Right.
Said, you have some training.
Yep. And I'll tell you, that's another big thing with the link I posted in watching the animated series together. You find out how he learned to do this and where he got his training, and it was really good. It was really awesome watching them together like that, and it flowed really well. I could see a backstory on Leia, especially with, you know, like it or not, the last movie showing her actually getting some Jedi training from Luke, even though they sort of brushed over it. You know, you could totally get Billy Lord to go back and do some things.
I think it would kind of help correct some of the rushing that they did with that concept of, oh well, Leia has the Force.
Right.
And she's already trained. And
exactly.
Really, when?
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that could be interesting.
As long as obviously Luke did the training,
right?
So as long as we find someone good to cast.
So there is that one actor, and I can't think of his name. Chat, maybe you know. There is one actor that everyone's saying should play Luke, and he does look like a young Mark Hamill. Like it's pretty good. And in fact, I think he was one of the. Wait, he might have did the work in the other show, but I don't know. I have to look at the. But they do think he would make a good casting.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you're absolutely right, 8-Bit. It's like the EU had so much backstory for all these characters, and not even backstory, but future story for what was supposed to go on. But yeah, Disney did kind of say, nope, that slate is now wiped.
Right.
Now, obviously, they are taking bits and pieces and readapting, though.
Wow.
Because there's definitely some familiar stuff that is happening.
Sure. That's interesting.
I'm not fully versed in the extended universe at all. But.
Yeah, and I guess they get to kind of decide and pick and choose what they want to be canon. And so the Mrs. Googled it said Sebastian Stan. I didn't realize it was Bucky who they were talking about, but
oh really?
Yeah, apparently Sebastian Stan in the right get up looks like a young Mark Hamill. So that's interesting. I thought it was another actor that I was thinking of though. But
I would
yeah.
take him as a young Luke though.
Oh yeah,
Like,
sure. Oh
I,
yeah,
I would
100%.
I would accept that
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I would not be against it. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see it. I can see it. That's pretty good.
compared to the alternative,
Yeah, right. No kidding. No kidding. Yeah,
which we'll just leave it at that because no
yeah,
spoilers.
yeah. Exactly. Yeah, we don't need any more of that. I like that. Yeah, that's probably who it was. Um, so there's one other show coming to Disney Plus. This might be our bigger hot take of the night.
Yeah. Yeah, I brought this one up when we were.
And this is good, and I'm glad you did, because I'll be honest with you, I have always felt the exact same way, and I'm curious to see what our chats say about it. The Book of Boba Fett is coming out. Okay, Boba Fett in the original movies, he had about 8 minutes of camera time. I don't think he said anything in the original movies. I don't think he had any lines.
He had a couple words.
Yeah, because he was in Empire. He was at Cloud City, right? And then he took Han back to Jabba. And then yeah,
He's no good to me dead.
right. And Return of the Jedi. He was Return of the Jedi. He was there in the palace. So outside of that, okay, and I thought in the prequels it was kind of interesting that the clone was his dad, but then you find out that he was kind of a clone, right? And then they sort of work in. I feel like they're pushing Boba Fett on us. I feel like they're like, you need to like this guy. He's cool. He's mysterious. He's awesome. Nah, man, Boba Fett was nobody. He was a side character that got eaten by a giant worm. Well, apparently, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Hashtag spoilers. Yes. You saw him like I don't get it. I don't understand how this character, this side character, like I swear to God, it's like giving Jar Jar Binks a TV show. It's like giving.
I don't know. I
wouldn't go that far.
I mean, Jar Jar Binks clearly was the one pulling the strings through the entire prequel trilogy.
Oh yeah, 100%. He was the evil Sith. He was the evil Sith behind everything.
He's the reason why the Republic went down.
This is true. Yeah, you know what? I think I will put that to a close.
Actually, then that means Jar Jar actually had more of an effect on the universe than Boba Fett.
He actually had a bigger role than Boba Fett did. He actually had Boba Fett was a courier. Like Boba Fett was just, yeah, I'll take this block of carbonite to Jar Jar. That's cool. No big deal.
Yep.
Like he's just such a side character. And everybody loves him. Why does everybody love Boba Fett? Like I don't get it. Everybody's obsessed with this guy that, he wore green armor,
Yeah, so he was popular because of his stories from the EU. I mean, I believe he has some, really involved stories there, but you have a lot of people who only know the movies and they're all about Boba Fett as well.
Sure.
Those are more of the anomaly that gets me.
Okay,
is the people who are only up on movies,
right? But
they don't know any of the extended.
He's what makes him a badass bounty hunter from the movies, from the movies, from the show. Like, I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they kind of. They almost, Jedi almost turned him into comic relief when he got eaten.
Yeah, right.
He gets his backpack hit, his rocket goes off, sends him sailing, bounces off the side of Jabba's barge.
Right.
Now, and then falls.
Now, he didn't catch Han. He didn't catch Han. I think that was all Vader and Lando. Like 100%. I don't think he had anything to do with it other than sort of like hanging around like, oh yeah, you're gonna I get him, right? Cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't understand. There's such a crowd following, like there's just such this huge thing, and I don't get it. There's a lot of movies with side characters that are awesome. They do cool things in the background, but not enough to get a whole series about it. And even before the series and before everything, dude, everyone's loved Boba Fett for years. Like, yeah, everyone's like, dude, this dude's badass. This guy's awesome. This guy's this and that. And it's kind of like,
I think to me it's more of like my more gripe is the fandom that surrounds Boba Fett, to where now we're getting shows about him because of the fandom that's going to explain and build his character better. It's like it's backwards.
Sure.
Instead of us getting these stories and everybody, you know, rallying behind him as a character.
I mean, I could see, yeah, that is true. He did put the tracker on the ship. So he literally threw the tracker on the ship, and that's it. Like, I mean, right.
Well, so, not quite.
So yeah, no, but like, I don't know. Like, Boba Fett he wasn't even a Mandalorian. He wore Mandalorian armor. He wasn't a Mandalorian. He was a clone, you know. And I don't know, man. Well, I guess that takes you into a conversation too. So if Jango Fett was a Mandalorian and Boba Fett was a clone of him, then I guess technically they're the same. I don't know. That's a weird line of thinking, I guess. But yeah, I'll be honest with you. Boba Fett to me was a side character that maybe through the EU, right? Maybe through the writings and stuff, somehow gained all this popularity and fame, and now we're getting a TV show about him, and it's crazy. So,
yeah. Am I going to watch the show? Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. For sure, 100%. Yeah.
Because to me, like, I was never like a huge Boba Fett fan at all. I'm like that. I thought he was almost comic relief in Jedi.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Him getting yeah.
And then they disposed of him.
He's like
and to see what they did in the future here, while in the, you know, just not too long ago, it made me interested. To where, yeah, maybe I'm gonna become a Boba Fett fan,
right?
But I'm not. I don't know. I'm not like
right.
I'm not anxious for. Oh, I gotta see more about this guy. I'm interested because of what I've seen so far.
Yeah, for sure. Worminator's feeling attacked. Hey, look. I'm not saying that I haven't had the same feelings about other side characters. I feel like Boba Fett is just this strange, mysterious anomaly in the universe, because you can't watch the original trilogy, in my mind. You can't watch the original trilogy and come away from that thinking, God, that dude that got eaten by the Sarlacc was freaking awesome. That guy was badass, man. Like right up until he got, you know, he got his rocket pack blowed up and he got eaten by the worm. Man, that dude was awesome, man. That dude was cool, you know, and like you can't. And so maybe I'm being biased because I'm only thinking about the movies, but it's just kind of like, And then even in the prequels, it was like, you know, it was cool. It was Jango Fett, Boba Fett. Okay, I'm seeing this. Oh, that's cool. And then after Dad's head gets cut off, he's sitting there with the helmet. You're like, okay, I see a little bit of the hate for the Jedi. A little bit. I could see how you could link up with the Empire, obviously, and bounty hunting, and, you know, dude's a good shot, whatever. But I'm still, there's not enough there for me to be like just really getting behind this guy. Like he's worm poop now, you know. It's like I don't know, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you watched A New Hope and man, Greedo was such a badass.
Right.
Oh, I need more about Greedo.
Yeah, same thing.
No one cared about it.
Right. No one cared. Dude got shot at a table having a drink. Like that's like, and he's dead. Exactly. And nobody cared, and no one went back. And I'm sorry, Greedo's eyes were so much cooler than Boba Fett's, you know. But 100%. Like, I think it's amazing that this character that I don't think they originally intended to have this sort of backstory to. You know, they never intended this, is getting this sort of backstory. And there's absolutely no one to credit that to except for people like Worminator, you know? I mean, if you got his tattoo on you, bro, you're a fan. And that's awesome. And that's that's good. But it's interesting that I don't think you take the movies by themselves and create what's being created for them. But yeah, I will 100% Worm there. I'm definitely gonna watch the series, and maybe by the end of the series, maybe the series is what gives that to me. It's just I've never seen a character with such little development on screen get a TV show, you know. And I there's the only way you can credit that is because of the fandom. Yeah, no, 100% exactly, but not the imagination of the movie makers. I think the movie makers saw him as a side character, saw him as a hired gun bad guy. I mean, if it was Star Trek we're talking about, he'd have had a red shirt on. Okay, like 100%. He was just another guy, you know. But yeah, I am curious to see it. I am interested to see the series, and I do think the series is going to. I do think the series is going to give us some more background. And maybe by the end of the series, I'm like, dude, yeah, Boba Fett's the man. I'll go get a tattoo too. You never know. You never know.
I think the series is gonna actually build him up to
Yeah,
be what everybody who, I don't want to say blindly, but blindly fanned out over,
sure,
of him being this badass
sure,
character, badass bounty hunter.
sure.
And I think we're going to see it now, but we're going to see it after the fact, after people already flocked to him as
Right,
he's this badass bounty hunter.
right.
But no, yeah, I agree with you, 8-Bit, is that, yeah, Greedo's purpose was to make Han look good
Yeah,
until,
yeah,
until it got messed up in
right.
yeah,
With
special editions.
with semi large Java coming around. Yeah, that's interesting. I saw
Or
those in
not
the
that,
theater.
or no, not even that, but the shooting at the table.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because it's like, we'll just, I mean, Han shot first.
Yeah,
Plain simple.
100%.
And to be honest, Han had no interest in
100%.
hearing what Greedo
No,
had to say.
no, it didn't
He was
matter.
like, yep.
You get your money when you get your money. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter, and you're dead,
Yeah.
and I don't have to worry about you anymore.
Yep.
You don't have to have it.
But yeah, Bad Wolf. Yeah, how you said it's like, yeah, where's the Gonk Droid series?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, the
Yeah,
droids, I tell you. Ugh.
yeah, some of the droids that it's almost like they felt necessary, that they're like, we need to come up with more droids
Right,
as we went on. I mean, you had original series, well, original trilogy, C-3PO, R2-D2.
sure.
They brought them back for the prequels, which was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
But then in the new one, then they're like, okay, BB-8.
Right.
BB-8 was cool. I like BB-8. I have my little BB-8, my little Sphero. But
Nice.
then I can't even remember the name because that's how forgetful it was to me. What was the new little buddy that follows BB-8 around now?
Oh yeah, right. Oh, there's so many. I
Like,
don't even know. It'll
yeah.
always be R2-D2. Always.
Yes, R2-D2.
A-Bit Beard, I'll say this. In the beginning, you have to correct me. He didn't go to Boba Fett. He had a whole room full of bounty hunters and was like, look, we need to find these people. I want Luke. And so he didn't go to Boba Fett. He just put out a mass call to bounty hunters and was
because
like,
wasn't there even one of the IG
yeah,
bounty hunter bots?
right.
IG-88 or something like that.
Right. And so, oh yeah, 21B. So, yeah. So I still can't even get behind the fact that he. I still can't even get behind the fact that he went and looked out Boba Fett. I feel like he put it all call out, and Boba Fett's trying to get paid.
Yeah, it was a job.
Yeah, it's just
That's
another job. And I think.
Oh, good, I was right. IG-88.
Nice.
Terminator.
And nice.
Good.
Job.
I'm like,
nice
I had
job.
that in my head, and I'm like,
yeah. Is that it? Yeah. It gets a little rough sometimes.
Yeah.
But again, totally gonna watch it. Totally gonna see what's up. There's a lot of good debates too, like R2-D2. R2-D2 should have remembered a lot of this stuff throughout everything. Like Come on, bro. You used to hang out with Darth Vader. Like we gotta talk about this. You got you gotta tell us. You know.
Hmm.
Yeah, 4 bounty hunters. There we go. I like it. The new
All right.
Ninja Turtles game. New
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles game.
You did Shredder's Revenge.
Oh yeah, I haven't played it.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not out yet.
Oh okay, I was gonna say I have not even tried
So,
it. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah. New Ninja Turtles game, and it looks like the closest I could say graphical style. It looks like a Game Boy Advance style game, but on steroids.
Sure.
Like the artwork style and everything.
Right.
It
Right.
looks like something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's if I recall, it's the same people who made who um who brought out the re-release of Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome.
I believe
That's
they're the ones
excellent.
who are handling it.
That's excellent. Yeah, you're probably
Oh,
right, Bad Wolf. R2 probably did get rebooted a few times. They're probably like, wipe them clean, man. Like this droid knows too much.
I don't know. The R2 thing though, it's like I think R2 knows everything
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
very beginning.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just
Yeah.
because he can't speak. Like the whole time, like when he goes to see Luke and stuff in New Hope, he knows exactly what he's there for.
Right. It's just he's a robot. So,
Yeah. Well, but I mean, poor C-3PO on the other
yeah,
hand,
right.
he's getting wiped every turn he takes.
Oh, C3PO. Yeah. They're like, oh man. Oof. That guy. I tell you.
Yeah. But oh yeah, TMNT. Yeah, that game does look good.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
one I'll check
and
out
yeah,
for
they're the
sure.
guys who made Streets of Rage 4 also.
Very cool. Very cool. That's one I'll check out for sure.